Hello everyone, Josh first back again with some more Epic 7 news, and today we're going to be dropping some data mine leaks on you guys, talking about potentially what's going down next week after the patch notes come out. And I wanted to do this video yesterday, but I just didn't get the time to do it, so sorry I am a little bit late, guys. But anyways, so Destina has been data mined to possibly be the banner coming out next week. She will also be coming with a side story. According to this data mine, it says we'll be collecting the rabbit fortune cookies for her currency. We'll be getting a new challenge quest, Test of the Sandstorm, with a new, I believe it's a bizarre artifact. Yeah, that sounded kind of weird even saying it like that, because it actually, yeah. Anyway, we're also going to be getting a couple new packs, which I'm sure all of you are excited for. I bet you the whales are. Everybody else is probably like, I don't give no fricks. And we're also getting a festival pack as well. And of course, we're going to be getting the new rotation of artifacts, I believe, already been leaked too. So we're going to be talking about all of that. We already got all the images ready for you guys. So let's first dive into it. So this is a drop rate up, Destina. Now, there is no, and I mean absolutely no confirmation that this is going down next week, or if it's even going down for global in Korean servers. A lot of people, I've seen a lot of other YouTubers already kind of talk about this, but they haven't talked about one aspect. Now, the Japanese servers were expected to be released sometime soon. We don't know what the date is. And when they release, there's a possibility that Smilegate wants to give them a raid-up banner and a side story for their, new server being released in their region. And when Global released, we got a drop rate up for Destina as well as her side story. The fact that that banner is back, possibly, and her side story is coming back might indicate that this could be for the Japanese server only. Now, there's no confirmation on that. That's just one theory. Another theory that I have is the possibility that they're bringing the drop rate banner back for Destina because she may be getting a buff, and they want to capitalize on that buff because the buff might be very good. I don't know if it's going to be Tamarine level kind of buff, which would be insane, and I would appreciate that for Destina. But I feel that it would make the most sense to give her a buff if you're going to be reintroducing her banner, knowing that a majority of the global players at this point have watched YouTubers, or they've read the Reddit, or they've been in the Discord, or some kind of community that's probably already told them that Destina has needed a buff for a long time. And because of that, the summons might be pretty low for Destina on that banner, outside of possibly new casual players that haven't followed any of that stuff I just mentioned or are unaware of her flaws. So those players may go in for Destina, but I think from a financial standpoint and from a player-based standpoint, it would make the most sense to finally give her that much needed buff. And if they do give her a buff, she's going to be 110% worth summoning. If you are a new player and you're looking for a solid 5-star healer, or just a healer in general, because she does have all that cleanse, she does have the most powerful heals in the game. Her downfall was the fact that she just had very long cooldowns, and she didn't really provide you with any kind of buff, like a barrier or a defense up or any kind of thing like that. But she did provide you with that heavy cleanse, which is very clutch in a lot of circumstances, and a very good counter to another new unit that just dropped recently, which would be Dizzy if you're coming from a PvP standpoint. So it would also tie in with how Smilegate has been power creeping constantly. What good way would it be to power creep a new unit that has been infused into PvP, such as Dizzy, then to boost Destina, which is already somewhat of a counter to Dizzy in the first place, and make her very powerful? If you boost Destina, you make a very hard counter for Dizzy players, especially if you're talking about PvP defense. Now, if they don't buff Destina, is she still good? Yes, to an extent. Is she worth summoning for? Probably not. And I'm going to explain that. So basically, if you want to get Destina to mid to end game level for PvP to be able to actually do anything worth a damn on PvP defense and possibly even PvP offense for some of you out there who love to live on the edge, you'd want to really optimally build her with counter attack set. Yes, it sounds weird, but please understand, with Celestine as her artifact. And the reason why is because her cooldowns are so long, you can take advantage of her S1 by equipping her with Celestine to get constant healing going off and counterattack set to keep spamming that S1 and, basically just making the perfect use out of Celestine as you possibly can, because Destina's heals are very strong. So being able to abuse that S1 is definitely the way to go with her because of those long S2 and S3 cooldowns that have basically hindered her throughout the game and are by far the biggest points when people explain why she needs a buff is because of those long cooldowns. She could receive the buff. She might not. I think from a player base and a financial standpoint, it would make the most sense if she received the buff. But if she doesn't, I just feel that most of the people going in on her banner are going to be players that are just unaware of what you need to make her good and how bad she is otherwise. Again, she's not a bad unit. There's just better options out there. 3 and 4 stars that can do her job, but more consistently and a lot easier to summon, a lot easier to build. A lot of players can't farm Banshee, let alone Banshee 11. Thus, getting a counterattack set is going to be difficult unless, of course, you have a very well built up Baiken and other units to support her to one-shot the Banshee. You could have Balone and Villager as well, etc., etc. It's just not everyone, especially newer players, are going to be able to get that optimal build for her to make her very good. And then there's also the other side of the coin where a lot of players may not even want to be competitive or are trying to be competitive in PvP. Thus, Destina is really not going to help you at all at that point, unless they give her a really good buff to make her extremely powerful in other areas of the game. So we're going to see what they're going to do. I don't even, like I said, those are a couple of my theories. It could be a Japanese-only thing for their new server coming that we've heard about for the past month or so. Or it could be that she's actually returning and they give her a buff, or maybe they don't give her a buff. And something that I'm very curious about is if they do bring her back for all the players, will we be able to redo the side story if we've already done it? How are they going to handle that? Because this will be the first time, if they do indeed return it for everyone, that we do get a returned side story. So I'm very curious of how they're going to handle that, or maybe they're going to give us a different side story. Is this side story going to lead into the new continent as Destina coming back because of the new continent going to be dropping very soon? Lots of things, a lot of theory crafting can go on, guys. So I want to know what you guys think. What is your theory? And let me know in the comment section below. The best theory I will pin for everybody to read. It doesn't mean that their theory is going to come true. It's just I want to see the most creative theories you guys can come up with, and I'm going to take the best well-written one and I'm going to pin it for you guys so you guys can enjoy that. So it's kind of a little bit of a story time in the comment sections today. So it's going to be pretty awesome. All right. So this is our boy Bazaar, as I like to call him. This is his new artifact. We're going to be talking about the new artifact in a moment, what I really think about it. So that is the artwork for the new artifact, for the new challenge that should probably be coming this Wednesday, I'd assume. This is some of the new packs here. Another new, I believe this one is the festival pack because it does say limited, so I believe that is what this one is. Probably going to be a $50 to $100 pack because they're dropping you 30 leaves, 50 bookmarks, and 1,000 sky stones. So for you guys that whale out there on packs, that might be something that interests you. Otherwise, you're probably like, I don't care. And this is going to be supposedly the new rotation for artifacts. And as you can see, Idol's Cheer is in there. So I think a lot of you are probably excited about that because a lot of you may not have been able to get an Idol's Cheer, or you missed out on the banner, you weren't playing yet. Idol Shear is a very, very powerful artifact, especially if you want to farm Wyvern 11 using a healer as your main tank, such as like an Angelica, for example. Idol Shear is very, very good, especially if you pair that with a strong DPS like Kisei or Luna or even Karen. Very, very good artifact. Trying to get one copy of that would be very nice for a lot of you guys if you did miss it. But back to the artifact. So, increases caster's attack by 2 to 4% after attacking all enemies. Effect can only stack up to 5 times. I am assuming this is going to be a mage-only artifact, as it says here, Tear the Desert Mage Artifact. So that's the name of the artifact, leaked, Tear the Desert. And again, I want to make this point. I want to ring it home to you guys. These are data mines. It does not mean that all these things are going to happen. And they're not going to happen as they're written. A lot of things could change. Maybe things don't come out. Some things may come out way later. You know, who knows? The only thing that I feel that we could probably strongly consider coming Wednesday is probably the new challenge artifact. But the whole Destina stuff, that is still up in the air. Who knows what's going down with that? We had a leak a few months ago about the Ken banner dropping, and that banner never came until several months later. So, you know, these things could drop, you know, next week. They could drop next month. They may not drop at all. Maybe it's going to be for Japanese only. You know, there's a lot of things to consider. I just want to make that point clear. I probably should have made that clear at the beginning of the video. I just don't want people getting upset if some of these things don't come out the way, you know, they were leaked. You know, that's just how data mines work, guys. It's always risky business. You know, it's always a 50-50. You know, is it going to happen? Is it not going to happen? Is it going to happen this way or that way? Just keep that in mind, though, guys. So when we read that it says increases caster's attack by 2 to 4%, that could change. That could vary. That could be different. You know, we don't know. But at the recording of this video, from what I can gather from this artifact, it doesn't seem all that great to me. Okay? Because it says increases caster's attack by 2 to 4%. Let's just take the high end of this artifact. Let's just go with the 4%. Okay? And it says you can stack it up to 5 times. Now, if that 2 to 4% is just ranging from if you have 1 copy all the way to max copy at plus 30 enhance, that's probably what the 4% is. So if you plus 30 this artifact, basically maxing it out, you're going to get 4% attack added to the caster, and it can be stacked up to 5 times, which means you could take it up to 20%, which means you would need to do 5 AoE attacks. 5. So in terms of a long battle, like perhaps PvE with a boss fight, that might be okay in the long run because you can stack that up to 20 times. And that's hoping that it doesn't reset between waves, which it probably will. Who knows? But in terms of PvP, I don't think this artifact is going to be very good at all, because if you're doing 5 AoE attacks in PvP, there's a good chance that the fight was already over before that, before you can even get up to the 5 stacks. Possibly. Now, this isn't saying it's always going to go that way. You might get yourself in an E-resist team that's just super tanky or whatever, and possibly that artifact could work well for you in the very long game, like a very long PvP match. But the chances of that happening often and consistently may not warrant the need to go out and farm this thing several times to max it out. Especially when there's other artifacts that I believe that are for mages that are much better, like Kaladra, for example, or Siren, Abyssal Crown if you're in PvP, especially with a heavy AoE hitter. You know, Etika Scepter or whatever. You know, there's so many better artifacts I feel that are already existing in the game that are both 4 and 5 star artifacts that I just feel like completely outclass this artifact. Now, this is going by what has been leaked. Now, this artifact, like I said, could change, but I just don't feel the way it's worded right now, it doesn't feel that great to me. More so in PvE, it'll probably be better than PvP, but even in PvE, I feel like still Kaladra is going to be better. If you're running a defense breaker, Siren is still going to be better because you're going to be able to stack multiple debuffs possibly, you know, ones that could defense break, poison, stun, sleep, silence, you know, burn, you know, lots of different debuffs that are very detrimental to actually winning the fight. And I feel like they're going to be doing a lot more than trying to build up to that 20% attack. But like I said, it could be useful to some players that love to play the long game, that have a very nice tanky / DPS oriented mage that does a lot of AoE damage. For example, like a Moonlight Araminta comes to mind, or a let's see here, what's another good DPS mage right now? I mean, I guess you could throw it on Dizzy. She's not really, I would say, built for DPS. She's more built like speed effectiveness. But I mean, you could go that route as well. You know, regular Araminta, for example, stuff like that. But I don't know. I'm just not really feeling it. I don't know. You guys let me know in the comment section below what you guys think about that artifact, if it does stay that way when it does release. But anyways, that's it for the data mine leaks. I think we talked and rambled on enough. Hopefully you guys get the idea. I will have this link to this Reddit post in a comment section below, or I'm sorry, in the description below, if you guys want to go and upvote them or whatever you want to do on Reddit. Yeah, so I look forward to seeing what you guys' theory is on the whole Destina thing in the comment section below. Do you guys like my theories? Do you think something completely different might happen? I cannot wait to read those. It's going to be story time in today's video, guys. Cannot wait. Drop a like on the video if you did, as always. Subscribe if you're new for more content here on the channel. Lots of big things coming, guys. Digimon Re-Rise is right around the corner. From what it seems like, Overhit is right around the corner. You know, we got Epic 7 right now. We finally are getting out of that collab event. Hoping for some new content, new quality of life changes. You know, and so a lot of things going on here on the channel. So if you don't want to miss it, be sure to subscribe if you're new. Join us in the description below at our Discord so we can keep the conversation going before and after the video, as always. And I wish you all an awesome day wherever you are. Until then, peace.